Okay, so today I'm going to be going over three different muscular training methods that you could use. The first one that I'm going to go over is called a compound set. A compound set is two different exercises that target the same muscle group. So these exercises are performed back to back with no rest in between. So I'm going to have two examples going on this film. The first one is going to be for biceps. It's going to consist of the overhead dumbbell press, which you see happening right here. He's going to do two sets of 6 to 12 reps. And then right after that, he's going to go to frontal dumbbell raises for two sets, 6 to 12 reps. Right. After biceps, he's going to do pectorals. So he's going to do dumbbell flies, two sets, 6 to 12 reps. And then directly after that, he's going to do a barbell bench press for two sets, 6 to 12 reps. So how do I want my students performing this concept? Before each student engages in the workout, I will perform a demonstration for each of them. This will help the students get the proper form on how to do it, and they will know that each set is two activities. So 6 to 12 reps of overhead dumbbell press and frontal dumbbell raises is one set. After each set, they get a rest for 50 seconds. At the end of the workout, we will meet up as a class and go over the benefits of these compound sets. For safety concerns for each of these workouts, whenever you're using a barbell with weights on each side, there must be clamps to keep the weights firm on the barbell. You can't have the weights flying off and hurting somebody else or yourself. Right, so students never want to throw the weights around. Instead, when they are done with each set, they will place the weights back on the rack. Of course, there's no running around the weight room either. So the spotter's responsibility during these exercises. For the dumbbell fly and overhead dumbbell press, spotter will hold students' wrists throughout the duration of the activity if needed. And for the barbell bench press, the spotter will be behind the student lightly holding the bar unless they need help. If they need more help, then they will assist them bringing the bar back to the rack. Right? Assist with any reps and helping to re-rack the bar. That's the big responsibility for the spotter in the barbell bench press. So what do I want to see and what do I not want to see? I want to see the students actively engaging in each workout as the weeks progress. They need to move up in weight, and they must consult a teacher for every time they want to go up on their own. What I do not want to see is fooling around in the weight room because that's how injuries happen. So next, we're going to go over a superset. Right? So what is a superset? A superset is the antagonistic superset refers to the strength training in which the individual moves rapidly from one exercise to the next. So there will be no rest in between the movement from exercises, and they will target different muscle groups this time. So the two exercises we're going to be going over here is, the first one is going to be biceps and triceps. So it's going to be bicep curls with barbell, 5 sets, 8 to 12 reps. And then it's going to go to tricep skull crushers, 5 sets, 8 to 12 reps. After that, the next supersized exercise is going to be push-ups, 5 sets, 8 to 12 reps, with barbell bent over rows, 5 sets, 8 to 12 reps. Right? So how do I want my students performing this? I want my students to match up with someone who can lift the same amount of weight as them. And before engaging in this activity, the teacher is going to demonstrate how to properly do the form for these activities, right? So after the demonstration, the students will get back into the workout. As both finish up doing one activity, they go on to the next one without any rest. So once they're done doing 8 to 12 reps on both activities, that is considered one rep. Okay, so what they're going to do is they will do 5 of them. Then they must finish biceps and triceps before moving on to the chest and back workout. All right, so students will be split up evenly between all 3 stations to prevent the weight room from getting crowded. All right, and at the end of the workout, we will meet as a class and go over the benefits of these supersets. All right, so on the safety concerns for these exercises, you want to make sure when using the barbells, there's clamps on each end, right, to prevent the weight from falling off and injuring people or yourselves. And again, under no circumstances can you run around in the weight room. Right, and if you want to go up in weight, just make sure you ask the teacher first. right? So the spotter's responsibility here is he's going to have to make sure that the clamps are on the barbell, of course, so that we don't have the weights flying off. And these particular workouts, some you do not need a spotter, although it's always good for students to have one. And especially for push-ups, you don't really need a spotter there unless you really need someone. And what I want to see from my students is I want to see students actively engaging in these supersets. Right, this includes them asking questions when needed, right, about form or how much weight they should be using. Right, I also want to see the students using appropriate breathing patterns for each activity. And things I don't want to see, as usual, is fooling around in the weight room, right? And students are not allowed to go up and weight without consulting me, right? So that is our superset, right? Those are our two examples for superset. You could see here in the video he's doing his barbell bent over rows. Right, so he's just finishing up those for his superset. Right, and then the next one we're going to go on after this, the last one, is called a drop set. Right, so what is a drop set? Right, a drop set refers to starting an exercise at a particular weight and then continuing with that exercise and reducing the weight until failure. Right, so it's important that you don't always do the same exercises every time you work out, right? You want to keep your body guessing almost, so that you don't get stuck in the same routine and you're working out the same muscles, right? So doing these different types of methods, it expands your range of fitness, right? So the drop set is one of my favorites. I love doing this at the end of a workout. Right, and our drop set exercise is going to be bicep curls with dumbbells. Right, he's going to do 5 sets of 10 reps. And in the last set, he's going to take off 10 to 15% of that weight, right? And you're going to do as many reps until failure. Right? So let's say he's doing 10 to 15 pound weights. Right, or he's doing 15, right, you would want to go down to maybe 10 pounds or 5 pounds, even 5 pounds after that. Right, 10 to 15% is the average, but it's not a problem to go even lower than that. Right, so after he does his bicep curls with his dumbbells, he's going to move on to his barbell bench press. Right, here he's going to do another 5 sets of 10 reps. He's going to take off 10 to 15 of weight after he's done with each set. Right, so when he's done with each set, he's going to take off 10 to 15. Right, the last set, you do as many reps as possible. Right, so how do I want my students to perform this concept? I want students to pair up with a classmate who is at the same weight as them again, right? And before the students engage in this activity, the teacher will demonstrate how to properly do these exercises, right? And how to properly take off the weight after each set, right? So with how effectively you take off the weights and proper form for each workout, right, at the end of that workout, we'll meet as a class and we'll go over how that drop set benefited them, right? So our safety concerns here are also, we're using the barbell again, so you have to make sure the clamps are at the end of the barbell. And after they are done with one set, they must never throw the weights, right? You don't want to throw the weights around after each set, right? Instead, gently place them on the floor so another classmate does not trip over them. Right, what we want to do here for the spotter's responsibility is make sure that the clamps are on each barbell and that if you need any assistance, someone comes and helps.